This is it. Here we are at Pebble Beach. It's Dawn Patrol. It's the beautiful California coast. It's amazing cars, and it's why everyone comes to Car Week. It's the ultimate end of week celebration of the automobile. We've gotten here early. It's still a little chilly. It's still very cloudy, but we're going to wander down now to the 18th fairway and walk through all this beautiful iron and all these mechanical wonders that are driving by us right now and will be getting judged later today. There's always a bunch of themes going on with every year's Pebble Beach Concours, and this year they're celebrating the 100-year anniversary of Le Mans. So you're seeing a lot of Le Mans winning cars all up and down the row here, and that includes, of course, the 2016 winner of its class, the Ford GT, which I have a special maybe affinity for various reasons. So if we're talking about history of Ford and Le Mans, we have to start with where it all began, which was the winning 1966 GT40 that's behind me. This was an important win for Ford. It took them multiple attempts to win Le Mans. It's been chronicled in various places, including a recent movie that was quite well received. Of course, that movie also explains what I think was always a critical part of that win, which was that this car didn't really win. It technically covered most distance because Ken Miles waited for it. And Bruce McLaren's a great guy. He did a lot of amazing things, including a company called McLaren. You might have heard of them. But at the end of the day, Ken Miles won that race, and McLaren got credit for winning the race. And I've always felt that was kind of tragic. But regardless, Ford swept the first three places and did what they wanted to do, which was to beat Ferrari. It was all based on Henry Ford II's grudge against Ferrari, and probably one of the greatest race stories in the history of the automobile. Normally you don't see that many Ferraris at Pebble Beach. It's typically older than the Ferrari era that most of us think of, but there's a lot of race history being celebrated this year, and that means there's a lot of Ferraris being celebrated. And it's always great to see, against the contrast of all the silvers and blacks and maybe dark blues and greens, the bright reds and yellows of classic Ferrari race cars. And that's what we see here throughout the center part of the 18th fairway this year, and it's quite lovely. I like it. Every year at Pebble, there's kind of a theme that they celebrate, and this year they're celebrating the 100-year anniversary of the Lincoln Motor Company, which was of course bought by Ford actually in 1922. And it's been interesting because the whole weekend's been full of Lincoln activity, including a concept car that we saw a couple days ago that was very futuristic. The cars here are very, of course, classic and vintage, and a lot of things people don't remember or know about Lincoln is that just as there were various hood ornaments like leaping jaguars or the spirit of ecstasy on different brands, one of the symbols of early Lincolns was the leaping greyhound dog. If you didn't already know that, you're going to see that theme as you walk up and down the row of classic Lincolns here at Pebble Beach this year. And it's going to be interesting to see what Ford does with the brand. I think luxury is more important than ever. China is the huge market, and luxury cars are the way you succeed in China. And Lincoln's quite happy with where they're at and how they're doing in China right now, and I think that's going to be a big focus of the future of the entire company's product plan. It's always fascinating when you look at a lot of vintage cars because you realize it was a really big deal when you got your not just Lincoln, but your Continental every year. And there were a lot of people that was like their standard procedure. They went out and bought a new Continental every year, and this is a great example right here. It's a 1956 Continental Hardtop Coupe, and it looks like it's already won something, but the design of these cars was very powerful back then. It was considered a very upscale, classic luxury car, almost at a level above the standard Lincoln brand, even though it was technically part of the Lincoln Motor Company, which was part of the Ford Motor Company. And this is a great example, another example we're seeing at this 100-year anniversary celebration this year. It's Pebble Beach. It's considered pretty much the pinnacle of car events for most automotive enthusiasts. And I think actually in today's world, you have to remember that things are going to change. Things are changing in the car world, right? We're entering into a new evolution of electrification and eventually self-driving. And what that means is that it's likely going to be less enthusiastic type vehicles going forward. But you come to a place like Pebble Beach, which is the same and has been the same for about 70 plus years, and it's a little heartening. It makes you realize that no matter how much the future of the automobile changes, the past will always be here for us to celebrate. And that's what everyone's doing today at the Concours, and it gives you faith that you can still be an enthusiast even if tomorrow's cars are all powered by batteries and don't have any steering feel, or maybe you don't even steer them at all, they drive you. Carl Brower from the Pebble Beach Concours 2022.